BJP is all set to make history in Haryana, becoming the first party to score a hat-trick in the state. BJP defied all the exit polls and defeated the 10-year anti-incumbency. The Haryana Assembly results come as a huge setback for the Congress, because Congress was confident of returning to power and they felt it would make a comeback in North India. On the other hand, the NC-Congress alliance worked its magic in Jammu and Kashmir and secured a clear mandate. This was in contrast to the exit polls which predicted an edge for the alliance but no clear majority. This marks the return of Abdullahs in Kashmir. The results also put a big question mark on the future of PDP. It failed to once again open its account in the Kashmir rally despite the Naya Kashmir push. What will be the impact of the Haryana and J&K polls on national politics? BJP's 35 equal one caste strategy, consolidation of non-Jat votes, a success. BJP, by dropping many senior leaders for new faces, the result has shown worked. The campaign narrative around Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini also worked for Bharatiya Janata Party. Now let's move to J&K. It marks the return of Abdullahs. PDP failed to retain its bastion in South Kashmir. Defeat of Iltija is a personal blow to the Mufti politics. NC-Congress alliance is a clean sweep. BJP maintains its stronghold in the Dogra Jammu region. They have bettered their tally, but they have failed to open account despite Naya Kashmir rhetoric. Congress NC gains are in predominantly Muslim population districts. BJP has gained where the Hindus have been predominant, and this is post realignment of the constituencies. Though BJP has registered win in SC seats, this has to be noted. And non-Congress alliance has done well in ST seats. Independents have failed. Smaller parties which got tagged as BJP's proxies also failed to make a mark. No third party could emerge in the valley, something which Ram Madhav tried working upon. It hasn't worked. Social media influencers, other people were there. It didn't work. And now the role of the nominated MLAs don't count, maybe later. And now we come to the national impact. BJP comes out of the 240 mode. When I say 240 mode, I say it has overcome the psychological Lok Sabha setback. Rahul Gandhi-led Congress has lost steam in Haryana. It puts brakes on Congress momentum. It should worry Congress. And Congress fails to make a comeback in North India, where the Modi currency consolidates. Brand Rahul, after the sudden spike, has lost its sheen a bit. BJP's bargaining position in Maharashtra will improve. Fight for Maharashtra and Jharkhand becomes tougher for Congress. Allies will ask for more meat. Many have spoken already on TV today. Some people have spoken of overconfidence. And in a direct fight with BJP, Congress fails to make gains. There will be other big takeaways. The data will come out. The women voters, the men voter, sub-segments of the castes. But I would broadly say that on the face of it, these are the issues. And in the studio, I am joined by Ajit Jha, senior journalist, Raman Malik, BJP leader, Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, spokesperson, Congress Party, Ahmed Ali Fayaz, Vipin Pabi, KV Prasad also joined me, but let me straight away, Brijesh Pandey, our input editor. In terms of electoral politics and results, one thing is very clear. Psephology is having a bad time.
Exit poll is having a bad time.
Exit poll is having a bad time.
Yeah.
May I ask you, why is exit poll having a bad time?
See, one reason perhaps is because exit polls have changed their methodology. Exit polls used to be a very expensive affair. Usually you end up, talking to 1 lakh voters. Researchers would go down to the constituency. Now everything, they are trying to cut money. So everything is done through telephones. And that, I think, there is no credibility when you're talking to telephone, when you don't know who the researcher is, you haven't made a rapport with them. That, I think, is a totally faulty methodology. It has been introduced. That's why pre-poll surveys are failing, according to me. That's why exit polls are failing. Number one reason.
Okay, that's number one. Raman, why are exit polls failing?
I was talking to Arnab this morning on Republic that I know people who are sitting in Dubai, outsource the work in Noida for exit poll of Haryana. Do you think that is going to work? These exit polls are nothing except a PR exercise. And Mr. Jha is very, very right in saying this, that exit poll used to be a very tedious process and it had certain methodology. There was a lot of paperwork involved. There were a lot of questions involved. So that the whole set of psychological positioning of the voter mass comes into play, and then it is just not the numbers, it is also psychologists who read that paper and evaluate where the mindset of the voter is going. But that ceased to exist somewhere around 2014. And now it's the shortcut social media and other platforms.
Ajay, it's a long story and it's an old story. Pranay could get it right in 1980s when there was no social media, when there was no mobile phone, there were no computing technologies available for journalists. Obviously, it would have been available at MOD level, but not for journalists. Then why aren't people getting it right when you have got data computing technologies, personalized data, and there was no sense of metadata in data? Why is this happening? Is it lack of investment? Or, as he said, shoddy artificial subcontracted work, or complete lack of rigor?
See, number one, Pranay, CSDS and the other pollsters of that time would take PhD students who would have passed out in sociology, political science, who understood what is methodology. See, methodology is not just punching numbers. I mean, the fact that when you say random sampling doesn't mean you go talking to random people, right? It follows random numbers. If you're going to speak to the 14th person in the, let's say, polling booth, and then you have to speak to the 24th, you can't speak to the 23rd because the entire random sampling will go wrong. The point is, as he pointed out, when you outsource to someone in Dubai who's just a manager, he calls up guys and says, phone se pucho. When you start calling on the phone, most people put it off, right? So you get to get 1,000 voters, you speak to maybe 10,000 voters, people who are not serious. That sometimes they are not even voters in that place. They are probable voters, they are not real voters. Whereas when we would do exit polls in the past, much more pre-polls was taken much more seriously than exit poll in the past. People would go and find out the difference between a probable voter, which is a probabilistic term, and a real voter. There are ways of finding out. Although methodology is not used because it's expensive. Everyone wants to do a poll and they want to spend least time. They don't, you will never see now anyone mentioning what's the polling size, what's the R squared, what's the T. Kuch bhi nahi. Chi-square test hua ki nahi hua hai. Nothing. They'll just give you the percentage vote. The other thing is exit polls are always, mostly exit polls accuracy depends on the percentage vote, not on the number of seats. But now people are not talking about the percentage vote. They only give you the number of seats, which is a rough calculation done on paper. It's nothing to do with the poll. You cannot derive number of seats from any poll in the world.
You know, Brijesh, what's the amazing part? If you, and I'm not going to get into the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, both polls, both set of polls went awry. In NC Congress, they were supposed to fall short of majority. Wherever they have secured complete, simple majority, I think 49-50, you know, simple majority they have. And whereas a party which was supposed to sweep is below the 40 mark, and the party which was supposed to do pretty badly is done better than the last time.